Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Fun in the Kitchen with April. How are you? It's been a while. I am just a mess. My kitchen is a mess. We had a pipe to burst, but anyway, I digress. So anyway, I'm back. And I can't wait to show you what we're going to do today because, again, the holidays has come around so quickly because next week is November, right? Can you believe that? Anyway, let me start off by saying thank you to my subscribers who have been here from day one. And thank you to all of my new subscribers. Welcome. I'm so glad you chose to watch Fun in the Kitchen with April. Yeah. But anyway, today I'm going to do candied yams. And it's the way my mom did them. My mom passed at the age of 49. So I try to remember some of the things that she did. She passed in 1994, October 24th, 1994. She was only 49, but there are still some things that I remember that she did. And this candied yam recipe is her recipe. So I'm going to share this recipe with you today. And this one is for one of my subscribers, Maria's World. She asked for a candied yam recipe. Well, I told her I'll have it for her this week, and here we are. We're getting ready to do this candied yam recipe. So give me a minute, and I'm going to show you. Give me a second. Okay, so as you can see, I started already peeling my sweet potato because I'm doing a small dish. I'm not cooking for the holidays right now. I'm doing this to show you. So I'm making a small dish of candied yams. And what I do and what my mom used to do is boil the sweet potato first. Now, I know a lot of people will peel it while it's raw and cut it while it's raw, but for me, I have to be honest. It's a little hard for me to do that. So to make it easier for me, and the skin just peels right off, you see that? I boil it a little bit, and then this way the skin just peels right off. And then that way, I don't have to leave it in the oven for an extreme amount of time. And you see how it's just coming right off. And of course, my hands are clean, guys, because I know, and I always tell you, you need to have clean hands when you're cooking. That's just nasty not to have clean hands when you're cooking. And I always do that. And I hope you guys are doing that. Some people don't, but I make sure my hands are clean. Okay. And for you guys who have said something about my mother-in-law hands not being clean, her hands are always clean, guys. Give it up for this 90-year-old woman, because I don't know how many 90-year-olds are still cooking, okay? So give it up to her. She always cleans her hands no matter what she does. So give it up to my mother-in-law, Mama Harris. And unfortunately, guys, for her, because she is 90, she's like, I can't be cooking like I used to. So she'll probably come on as, to guide me through some of her other recipes, but she won't cook because, she's gotten a little old. And, she still cooks, but she's not cooking big like she used to. So she's still going to cook. She still makes her cakes and stuff, but she's not cooking like she used to. So there's that. Or maybe we'll do a Q&A with her and you guys can ask her some questions. But anyway, you see how that skin just peeled right on up, and that's because I boiled it before even cutting it up. And I still have a little bit of skin on this side, and it just comes off so easily. That's why I like to boil it, and I'm pretty sure that's why my mom boiled it, because it's easier for the skin to come off. And there you go. So you may want to do it that way, or if you feel like you can cut it up while it's raw, by all means, do it the way you feel comfortable doing it. But this is how I do it, and it's comfortable for me to do it this way because, guys, I just cannot cut it when it's raw. I just can't, and I can't peel it when it's raw. And I have two sweet potatoes that I'm going to do. So I'm going to peel the other one. Well, this is what I do before I peel the other one. So this is what I do. You see how nice that's real nice and soft, right? So this is what I do. I just kind of take my sweet potato and I just cut it up like that. See, it's soft. It's soft enough for me to cut. And I'm going to leave chunks in there as well. And that's all you do. Just take that and then you just kind of cut it in half like that. And then you can cut it again like that. Okay? Cut it again like that. Cut it again like that. That way you have some of your chunks. And however you want to cut, if you want to leave your sweet potato like this, sliced like that, you can. Me, I like to cut mine up in chunks. You know, everyone is different, but this is how I do it, and you're more than welcome to do it the way you like to do it. So I am going to finish cutting this up, and then I'm going to take the skin off of my other sweet potato. And like I said, I'm only doing 2 sweet potatoes today because I'm not making a whole lot for a big crowd of people. Okay? And I'm going to finish just cutting this up right quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. So as you can see, I cut up my little sweet potatoes, getting ready for the candied yams. And it still has a little bit of, even though it's soft, it still has some firmness to it. So that's what I like, to have a little bit of firmness to it. Okay? So now, what I'm going to do is, as you can see, I have my ingredients here. Now, I like to use my cinnamon. I like to use, and we're going to sprinkle cinnamon on here. Okay? We're going to sprinkle the cinnamon. I love cinnamon, so I kind of go heavy with the cinnamon, guys. And cinnamon is good for you for so many different things. If you're diabetic, if you have high blood pressure, I mean, just an array of things. A little bit of allspice, because allspice can be a lot. So I sprinkled a little bit of allspice, and I am going to sprinkle a little bit of nutmeg, because again, do I have any in here? There we go. Because nutmeg can be strong too. Okay, so I'm doing that now. I am going to put some brown sugar in here. Actually, let me get a spoon for my brown sugar. Give me a second, guys. Okay, now I'm going to put my brown sugar in here. Okay. And you could use light or dark brown sugar. I happen to have some light brown sugar, so that's what I'm using. And you put as much brown sugar as you like. This brown sugar is done to taste. I'm probably putting a little bit much on here. If you're diabetic, don't do that. Don't put a whole lot of sugar on here if you're a diabetic. In fact, if you're a diabetic, don't put no sugar. Or maybe just a drop of sugar. Oh my goodness. But we're gonna also add some I usually like to use the Allspice cane syrup, which is, you know, that's why I'm saying if you're diabetic, don't add any sugar, because we're going to add some syrup to it. But for some reason, I could not find the Allspice syrup. So you can use the Cairo corn syrup as well. And I got the dark Cairo corn syrup, okay? But we're gonna put that on last, okay? Now, I may add a little bit more sugar to it. I don't know. I don't know. It just depends. But I am gonna put this butter in here, okay? Because I do like to put butter in here, and I'm not using unsalted butter today. I'm actually using, I can't believe it's not butter, okay? So sorry guys for all the banging. So I am putting this in here, okay? Put a little bit of butter in there. Well, that's more than a little bit. So this is what I do. But again, if you feel like you want to do it without the butter, you don't have to add the butter. But I like to add the butter to my candied yams, okay? So that's what we're going to do. Okay, and so I have my butter here. Now, because what's going to happen, we all know that sweet potatoes are already sweet naturally. And they kind of create their own little syrup. And when you combine the sugar and the butter together, that's going to make another, it's going to make some more of the syrup combined with the sweetness that the sweet potatoes already has to it, the natural sugar that it already has to it. So you kind of don't really have to add any syrup. But again, remember I told you I'm doing my mom's recipe. And this is how she did it. Now, you're not going to add a ton of syrup, but you're just going to add a little bit. Okay? And again, like I said, this is the corn syrup, the dark corn syrup. Okay? If you don't want to add syrup, you don't have to, because the sugar and the butter will naturally make a nice little syrup on its own. Okay? And this is why I said, if you're a diabetic, do not put any extra sugar in there, because this corn syrup is going to add more sweetness to it. Now, hold on. Let me get this open. Okay. So I got the syrup open, guys. I don't know why that was so hard. But anyway, so now I'm going to pour a little bit of this syrup on here. That's all you need, just a little bit. Okay? Because again, the sugar and the butter is going to make more of a syrup as well. And I'm just going to kind of mix this together. And of course, when I mix it together, some of the sweet potatoes may break up a little bit more, and that's okay. That's okay. Don't you worry about that. That's okay. They can break up, all they want to. Now, of course, if it's raw potatoes, they're not going to break up so easily. Okay? So we mix that up nicely. Everybody's in there. Everybody has some sugar and cinnamon and nutmeg and allspice on them and some butter on them. Okay. Like I said, again, this is my mom's recipe. And again, she died in 1994. Just the same as my mac and cheese recipe is hers. However, I added to that with some extra cheeses, and I added bell pepper to the recipe. But that's the base of it is hers. And it's on Fun in the Kitchen with April, so you may want to check that out too if you really want a really good mac and cheese recipe. My clients love it. Everybody loves it. Check it out. If you choose to make it, let me know how you enjoy it, okay? So now this is ready to go in the oven. And I know you see these marshmallows here, but we're going to save that for the end, okay? But we're going to let this cook just like this, okay? I'm going to put a piece of foil on there, and we're going to let it just bake, okay? And let everything, all of those nice spices and the sugar and the butter and the syrup all get nicely marinated and married together in there, okay? So we're going to let this bake. I've got the oven on at 350, and I'll be back once it's about done. We'll put the marshmallows on, okay? Okay, Fun in the Kitchen family. This is where we're at right now. And if you can see in there, we have that nice syrup that is formed there. So what I'm going to do now, I forgot to get my marshmallows, but I am going to put my marshmallows on top for you. And let me just show you a little something. You see, it's nice. There we go. There we go. It's nice. We have a nice syrup here. You can see that. Yep. And so the longer you let it sit it'll start to thicken up because the potato, the sweet potato itself is going to thicken it up some more too. But it's super hot because I just took it out the oven.
Your washer is done.
So I probably had it in the oven for about 40 minutes or so. Now, you can do one of two things. You can make a nice crumble over this with just some sugar and sugar and a little bit of flour and make a crumble over that. Or you can do what I'm gonna do. And remember, I told you this is how my mom made it. So I am going to make it like she did, which is put some marshmallows on top. Okay, I need to open this with the scissors. Okay, give me a second. Okay. So now I am going to make sure that all of this is covered with marshmallows. You want to make sure all of it is covered with marshmallows. And then you're going to stick it in the oven until the marshmallows are nice and melted into our, but you still want it to look like marshmallows. But we're going to make sure it's nice and melted into our, on top of our yams, I should say, not into it, but on top of it. Okay, so when you put it in the oven, you're not going to put the foil back on because you want it to melt. Okay, and you want it to get a little brown on top. Okay, so I'm going to put it in the oven for a few minutes, just a couple of minutes, not long. Okay, I am back, and this is what the candied yams look like once it's topped with the marshmallows. So what I'm going to do is just take a little portion of it and taste it for you and show you what it looks like. But you see how it has that little browning at the top? That's what you want. Now again, you don't have to put the marshmallows on top, but it's really good that way. You can make the crumble to go on top. But this is the way my mom made it. So you can use my recipe and let me know how you liked it. Or you can choose to do it in another way. But this is how I was taught to do it. And it's so delicious. So hold on. I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit and show you and taste it for you. Okay, let me bring you in, YouTube family. So I have dug in, and look at that. Look at that. Look at the nice syrup. Oh, there you go. Look at the nice syrup. And you see this nice syrup that had formed in there? Oh my goodness. This is delicious. Now, I forgot to get a fork to try it with you guys. But I promise you, if you try this recipe, you will love it. Alita, can you hand me a fork, please? A fork inside the inside there. Thank you. I had to get a little help, guys. Thank you. Okay, so this is very hot. So I'm gonna blow it a little bit, and I'm gonna taste it for you all. It's nice and sweet. It's hot though. Ooh, it's hot. It's good. Oh, it's very hot. But it's so good. But do you see what I'm talking about? How I was talking about the syrup, how it made its own nice syrup along with the syrup that I put in. That's why I didn't need to put that much in, because it's going to do that. And I still have chunks in there. You see, there's chunks of the sweet potato in there. So we're all good. Now, all right, here we are. So it's really good. It's just so hot. So if you make it, let me know how yours turn out. Okay, and as always, I'll have the recipe in the description box down below. And again, thanks for watching. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And press the notification bell so that you know the next time I have a great recipe coming for you. Bye.